Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech along with my co-host Sundar, and welcome to another episode of Ash Answers. And yeah, I've been reading the comments, and yes, I know what you guys have been asking for. The trusty SIM ejector tool returns 2 weeks from now. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
I almost forgot that
Dude, see, that's why he doesn't read comments.
I do.
That's possibly like the maximum requested thing. People ask for the SIM ejector tool more than the LG Q6.
That's not possible, I guess.
That's true.
Anyway, we have a new companion, the Mi Pad 3.
Yes, we sold our Mi
Which
Notebook Air 12.
replaces the SIM ejector tool.
No, it replaces the Mi
You can do
Notebook
what you
Air.
want with this.
No, I can hit you over the head with it, and yes,
But your
I'm
Mi Pad
tempted.
3 is
I know I'm tempted, but yeah.
Let's get to the questions.
Ash Answers is a show where we answer the questions that you tweet out on Twitter with the hashtag Ash Answers.
Almost forgot what we do on Ash Answers. What are your views on the Nokia 6?
Here's a card to that video, my Nokia 6 review.
That's it.
So yeah, it is okay. Here are spoilers. Okay, you know what? I will tell you my views on it, but then you make a promise that you'll still watch the review if you haven't yet. So, well, let's go. Honesty, policy and all that. So I'm gonna trust you guys to still click on that card and watch it. So anyway, Nokia 6 is an excellent phone that is extremely overpriced. Just like say the Oppo F3 Plus, the phone, the hardware, the entire package is good, but the price is incorrect. For 15,000 rupees, there are much better options. But if you want a Nokia, those of you who are going to say, but dude, it's Nokia, it's built like a tank and all that. If that's important to you, if you want a Nokia, then go buy it. You're probably paying 3,000, at least 3,000 rupees more than what the internals are worth. But the phone itself is quite good. That's my 2 cents.
What were you saying? There are better options under 15K?
I didn't say that.
He did.
The Nokia 6 best option under... Okay, yeah. Better options. His card.
My views, impressive, expensive.
Yeah,
That was
he steals my titles.
I wrote it.
He wrote it.
Xiaomi is going to launch a dual camera phone next month in India. Will it be the Mi6 or Mi5X? What are your opinions?
Manu, J, Clinton, anybody watching it, Mi6, please. Please. Pretty please, I'm asking you very politely. Please, Mi6, not the Mi5X. I mean, Mi5X seems like a great phone. I mean, they're pricing it excellently and it's got the dual camera setup. In all probability, it's going to be an excellent performer. But you guys say it's one flagship a year for India. Well, we are like over halfway through the year. I mean, we are in August. We just have September, October, November, December. It's like we're like 2/3 done with the year. That's notification going on some phone. Sorry about that if you heard it. So anyway, do not tell us the Mi 5X is the flagship for the year. Please bring the Mi 6.
What's your guess?
Heart says Mi 6, brain says Mi 5X.
Same here. What's your opinion on the LG Q6? I'm confused about its day-to-day performance, as LG UI is not so polished and also fingerprint sensors not there.
See, LG UI, I mean, the last time I used it, I wouldn't call it not polished. It definitely is more polished than Sony's. At least it didn't have all those crazy bugs that Sony comes with. I mean, nitpicking, of course, nitpicking. So, unless the software has gone downhill from the last time I used it, again, here's a card to our unboxing. I haven't dug deep into the software. I will be swapping my SIM over to the Q6 tomorrow. So I'll have more to say probably next Ash Answers if the review doesn't go live before that. And even if it does, I'll still pick the question and leave a card to the review. Probably that's what I do. And as far as the fingerprint sensor not being there, that is a con. Yes, definitely. I didn't like the fact that the 9,500 rupee Nokia 3 came without a fingerprint sensor. So at 15,000 bucks, definitely a con. Definitely a con. But it's got the full vision display. It looks different than any other phone you can buy at 15,000. So it's got that going for it. It's not like you have different options with that 18:9 aspect ratio and a fingerprint scanner. So till you get another option in that segment, the Q6 definitely seems to be offering something different and maybe worth the price. That is all going to depend on how that processor manages to hold up. So that's something, again, I'll have more for you in the incoming days.
Initial impressions, we love the device, the form factor.
He loves the device.
You don't.
I like it too.
I mean, at least the form factor. Do you prefer Threadripper over i9? If not, why? And when are we getting a Threadripper i9 PC build?
So, do you know why this question was picked?
Why?
The display picture has me in it.
Okay.
It was shot right here. So Kevin actually visited the office a while back. So anyway, that's not why it was picked, but yeah, I mean, maybe not. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Anyway, Threadripper, I do prefer Threadripper over the i9, but you shouldn't if gaming is important to you. I mean, Intel still has the edge on single core performance, but Threadripper, the insane number of cores and threads, for anything like rendering or editing, that's gonna make all the difference in the world. And given that anything comparable with Intel is $2,000, this is $1,000. I mean, it's like double the money. I mean, do we even have to think twice? Come on.
But that would be better, right?
What?
At $2,000.
What? At $2,000, yes, it might be like 10% better. At $2,000, it's got 2 cores more. But then again, are you gonna pay double the money for that? I mean, I'm not.
Probably not.
$1,000 for a chip is overkill. $2,000 is craziness. And anyway, one second, need to go back. When are we getting a Threadripper / i9 PC build? So guys, PC builds are on hold right now. We are on the verge. Again, it is not simple. It's not like within a week we can go from like, okay, we are looking for a place. We found a place. We signed the papers. We're moving in. I really wish I could do that within like in a space of 4 Ash answers, but sadly that's not how things work. The bank guys came, checked out our place and everything. So it's like 4 days of bank holidays. So probably this is Ash answer 62. By Ash answer 64, we know if we are getting a loan or not. If we get a loan, then we move a month and a half from then. If we don't get a loan, then it's again another bank loan processing. You add 2 to 3 weeks to it. So anywhere between 2 to 3 months is when we move. And once we move, we will do a bucket load of PC builds, like at least 1 a month or 2 a month if possible. I'm like trying to dedicate a room with like a a room, at least a monitor and a desk dedicated to PC builds. That is at least what I have in mind right now. So hopefully we can do it in this place. We just don't have the space to do PC builds. A PC build means 4 days of work, or at least 3 days of work for the 4 videos we do. And that means this desk gets tied up. So this desk gets tied up, we can't shoot anything else. So that becomes a huge problem given that there are 3 of us working right now.
Until then, we'll just change the backgrounds for Ash answers.
Yep.
Why do you blame C4E Sundar for dropping the phones? I mean, you need somebody to do the drop tests.
That's because he's not dropping them on cam.
Yeah.
I mean, he just dropped this on cam. No. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, but if you knew I'd break so many phones, would you be happy to see them on cam?
No.
I mean,
no. I don't want to do drop.
I mean, do you at least wish I did them on cam? I mean,
Can we like insert a technical difficulties thing right now?
I mean, it's...
Dude, I'm gonna expedite the return of the trusty SIM ejector tool now.
Okay, we don't want that.
He breaks phones. That is who he is.
iPhone 7 at 43K, still a good buy? You always do this when there's an Apple question.
What?
You used the iPhone 7, you reviewed it. What do you think at 43K? Is it worth it? I say it's worth it.
He says it's worth it. Yeah. Moving on, next question.
What?
See, at 43K, if you want an iPhone, then yeah, the 7 is an excellent phone. But I wouldn't pick an iPhone today. I mean, have you guys seen the renders? Have you seen MKBHD's video on what is supposed to be, as in he did the whole After Effects thing where he superimposed a display onto that non-functioning model. I mean, it looks really cool. So if I were somebody looking to buy an iPhone today, I mean, if the 7 is available at like 25K, that's different. I mean, I'm not saying it would ever be available, as in 1 year after launch, an iPhone's going to be available at 25. But it's 43K. The new iPhone would probably come in at 60. So that's like 17K difference.
But you were talking about the iPhone 8, which will probably come in at 70K or 75K.
Again, we don't know.
The 7S or 7S Plus.
See, yes, those are all rumors.
If the iPhone 8 comes in at 60K, then the iPhone 7S and the 7S Plus should be priced much lower.
Yeah, but those are all rumors. We don't have confirmation from Apple that they're going to do 7S, 7S Plus and 8.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, what if it's just one phone and you all... See guys, this is how it is, right? Again, I think MKBHD answered this in his Q&A video, wherein like, you know, they have huge supply chains. So even if one worker over there manages to leak something, it gets leaked. And to create some kind, to maintain some kind of secrecy with regards to their products, brands at times develop multiple prototypes. They have multiple devices. Some of them don't actually make the cut. So what if the 7S and 7S Plus are just something like that? I mean, again, it might just be 7S, 7S Plus and 8, just like the rumors we've been hearing. But what if it isn't? I mean, we've gotten so close to the launch, and I wouldn't want to shell out 43K today. I mean, maybe if you asked me in June or July, even I would have said yes. And even now, it's not a bad pick. But somebody looking to buy an iPhone 7 today and willing to throw 43K at it, I would rather say, I mean, if you really don't want, I mean, if you just want a great phone and not an iOS device, just get a OnePlus 5 or a Honor 8 Pro, use it till the 8 launches. And I mean, probably the OnePlus 5, because that would have better resale value.
Or if you're someone who wouldn't spend more than 45 or 50K on a smartphone, then yeah, the iPhone 7 would still be good.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, of course, if you want Apple.
Yeah, so sell the 5 off, and then pick up the iPhone 8. Because those renders, if they turn out to be reality, if the phone's gonna look anything like what it looked on MKBHD's video, I mean, I don't know. I would want to buy it. If I were you, I'd kick myself for buying an iPhone 7 at 43.
This is the transition period. Ash turning into an Apple fan.
I've always liked iPhones, dude. I just don't think I could use it. See, even today, if that's how it is, and if it's at 50K, I still couldn't use it as my primary for a year. Why? Geo. First answer is Geo.
Yeah.
Second, I need access to the file system. Okay, these are things iOS is not going to provide me. There's no dual SIM.
Do you use Google Chrome or some other browser? And how do you manage 40 plus tabs on Chrome if you happen to use Chrome?
64 gigs of RAM! So yeah, I have Chrome, and I have by default, like once I load Windows up and I open up my browsers, I would come back to that. I would have somewhere close to 15 tabs open. That's right out of the box, as in once at boot. I have 3 profiles on Chrome. So one is for C4eTech Tamil, one is for C4eTech, and one is for C4eAsh. I'm signed into 3 different Twitter accounts on all 3, and 3 different profiles for, 2 profiles for my YouTube content, and that is how I manage it.
Okay. Last time I opened 15 tabs, it was when I missed something on the OnePlus 5. Okay. Recently when I did the Resurrection remix.
Okay. And of course I start looking into something, then that goes like, it's weird, and keep a lot of tabs open.
Is Honor 8 at 16K a good buy? It is, of course it is. But if you don't like single SIM phones, then you'd have to look for something else. At 16K, the one we got is a dual SIM phone, right? I mean, it's got a hybrid slot, right?
So that was something I could never understand why Huawei did what they did. As in, most brands, they sell single SIMs abroad and bring dual SIMs to India. Case in point, Samsung. These guys actually got a single SIM to India, and I guess it was something to do with approvals for the second SIM slot or something. But at least now they've come up with dual SIMs for India. So anyway, if that second SIM is not important to you, if you don't use Geo, you can get an Honor 8. But then talking about Geo, have you guys been feeling this? For me, in the last couple of months, I've been feeling Geo being more stable than my Vodafone. I use Vodafone and Geo, and inside the office, I can barely get the Vodafone signal, but Geo works. I mean, nobody ever calls me on the Geo SIM. I don't know what my number is. That's different. But if I want to call somebody and I'm in a pinch, I just use Geo, and it connects faster. It feels like the superior network now. It's getting better.
On our way to LAKEY.
Oh yeah. See, in the past, like if I'm driving from here to Mahabalipuram, there have been places in between which are like dead zones, as in before Geo, and I'm streaming off my Vodafone SIM. There would be places where I couldn't get reception, and of course we'd be like, okay dude, let's drive a little bit more, and hopefully it starts and we go back to whatever music I have on my phone. But this time, we drove to LAKEY, which is like much more
250
remote.
kilometers away from here, and much more
much more remote compared to Mahabalipuram, which is like 55 kilometers from here, and almost 35-40 kilometers from here is like almost part of Chennai now. You've got OMR and like Hiranandani and all that. So and still we had dead zones, but with this, I mean, even all the way up the hill, we were continuously streaming music, Google Play Music, and what were you using? Saavn. Yeah. And there were no issues, totally. So Jio seems to be getting better. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think Jio is getting better? Do you think Jio is getting better than, say, Vodafone or evil incarnated, also known as Airtel?
I don't know why all English YouTubers watch and tweet about English series and not any regional language movies.
So for me, I don't really watch a lot of Tamil content. These days I do because of these guys. Ever since he and Shah Rukh joined, I mean, I actually went to a theater and watched a movie, Vikram Vedha, recently, which I haven't done in like years. So that's all because of these guys. But otherwise, now see, let's say I watch a Tamil movie and I'm really impressed about it. I wouldn't tweet it because not everybody following the C4E Tech handle or C4E Ash handle would understand Tamil. Yeah. I don't understand Hindi, so I can't really tweet about Hindi stuff. But English, predominantly people get it. I mean, even if people don't watch it, they could look it up and they'd still understand it. But Tamil, they can't look it up and
they
understand
won't care about it.
Yeah. So not understanding, so that's the main reason why I would talk something about English series and not Tamil. But now on the C4E Tech Tamil handle, I might.
Yeah. What are your neighbors' reaction when you shoot outdoors?
More often than not, they're very, very happy. They don't have any problems at all. Unless somebody manages to stop their plans to get a shot. That's the only time they've complained. Guys, I've been here for like 3 to 4 years in this setup, and my neighbors have never had an issue except that one time.
Okay.
And someone, I'm not going to name them. I don't want to point fingers. Okay, I do not point fingers. I don't want to point fingers. But
it wasn't me. It was Harris and Shah Rukh.
It was you.
No, it wasn't me.
Okay.
Shah Rukh and Harris.
Let's rewrite history. Let's say it's Sundar did it. I mean, that's simpler. Harris and Shah Rukh aren't here, so. But then it was you and Shah Rukh. He keeps saying
I wasn't even
the
there. You were.
He says this all the time.
No, you were the one who told me the story.
He says this all the time.
When I shoot outdoors, I mean, once in a while someone asks me, why are you shooting? Who are you? Yeah. Someone did. I don't answer though. That's a different thing. Then the weirdest reactions from people, I've seen them when shooting selfies. I do it on a weekly basis, so that's kind of weird. Do you watch WWE? If yes, who's your favorite superstar?
I don't watch WWE. I used to. Now I still check pwpix.net and prowrestling.net from time to time, so I keep up with what's happening, but I haven't found time to watch WWE or GFW. But right now, my current favorite active superstar would probably be AJ Styles or Finn Balor. Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, you've seen my t-shirts, so I'm pretty sure you know who my favorites are. All time, it would probably be Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels. CM Punk, of course.
The one who lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
The one who lost to The Undertaker?
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels. I'm just going to say Brock Lesnar and leave it. I mean, do you really want me to... I mean, Undertaker is the guy who lost to Roman Reigns. And I hate Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if that pisses you off, but I dislike Roman Reigns. I mean, not the guy himself, but the way, the character, the push. It just feels like John Cena 2.0, and I really didn't like 1.0 in the first place. Stale characters. That's what made me turn me off WWE. Who's your favorite superstar? He's just gonna keep saying Undertaker.
I mean,
that's been the...
same goes with me. I don't watch WWE now. I used to, and once in a while, like once in 3 months, I check the news. I see if Undertaker is back.
Okay.
If not, wait for 3 more months. Sundar.
You're supposed to read it. No, you're supposed to read it.
Sundar haircut tweet reminder.
Guys, if you want to see Sundar's hair being cut live on Periscope, YouTube Live, or Instagram Live, Facebook Live, whatever, some live, then there'll be a link to a tweet in the description below. Click on it, go to that link, retweet it, 3,000 retweets. I get to do it, and we are currently at 1100 or something. So yeah, we are getting there slowly, steadily, but it is happening. We've got progress.
Why isn't Harris doing any videos recently?
Because Barry Allen is the fastest man alive. Okay, again, in case you don't get this reference, there will be another link to another tweet. Go watch that video. That is part of the unaired Ash answers, where Harris had a wonderful answer. So like, yeah, check that out.
A statement out of the blue, which had absolutely no relevance to the situation whatsoever.
He suddenly goes, but Barry Allen, he's the fastest man alive. And with this hand motion, it was like really funny. So we did kind of like a collage of it. So do check that out if you haven't already. And let me know if you check it out, what do you think in the comments. So why isn't Harris shooting videos? Because Sundar says Sundar is jealous and he only wants to be on camera, so he doesn't want. So guys, Harris is a part-timer. He's got his college and stuff, so he's not been around quite as much. That's the real answer.
How old are Sundar and Ash?
He's 29, I'm 29 as well.
I'm 16, he's 29.
He's 22, I'm 29.
21.
You need to kind of like, I mean, you always want to give half truths, like you're 22 but you want to say 21. I mean, he's a chronic liar.
I am 21. I'll be 22 by the end of the year. 21 for now. Coming from S7.
But don't you think he looks older than he is? Do you believe he's 21?
I don't deny that. Coming from S7 Edge, HTC 10 and Moto G5 Plus to OnePlus 5. All the above devices were simply great. Will I be happy with the OnePlus 5?
You know, for a minute I actually thought you hadn't hit record. That's my trust in you. And that's your trust in yourself, your face reaction right now. You know guys, the fun part is, he did not plug in the mic. He said everything is ready and he was coming to sit here.
Everything was ready and then we had to redo this tripod.
Yeah, but then you didn't plug the mic and you were about to come sit.
Yeah. We would have checked for audio, right?
Did we check for audio now?
We would have.
We didn't even now.
I sat here anyway. Will you be happy with OnePlus 5? Probably.
I would be. It's got something over all these phones, right? I've not used the HTC 10, but compared to an S7 Edge, the UI is going to be faster, snappier. And the G5 Plus, it's going to roll over a G5 Plus.
Yeah. So, even if there's no G5 Plus in the equation,
yeah, forget the G5 Plus. The S7 Edge is probably the strongest phone amongst these three. And yes, your camera might be comparable, might be a little better, a little worse.
Yeah, camera probably and display won't be as good as the S7 Edge. But and again, audio won't be as good as on the HTC 10.
But you don't seem to be somebody very picky because you have used the G5 Plus amongst these phones. So I'm pretty sure you're going to be happy with it. OnePlus 5 takes me to my happy place. So I like
super fast.
Extremely. The only phone I feel is kind of somewhere close to that is probably the 8 Pro.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, I didn't expect it to be. Like before the speed test happened, I was like, okay, it's going to be a little slower than OnePlus 5. But turns out it's quite as, almost
as fast. Best editing software for beginners.
That's going to be Movie Maker on Windows.
Movie Maker is too
iMovie on.
Start with Premiere Pro. You're gonna have to get used to it.
No, but you can start with. See, I started with Movie Maker, so I don't know.
I started with Premiere Pro.
That's because I taught you Premiere Pro.
Me, but it's just basics, right? Took probably half an hour.
There is one person who I will not name. Okay, somebody who doesn't use Premiere. Okay, if I don't name them, then you're gonna jump to somebody that I don't want to, so I'll name it. Like Rob, VGJ Felix. He does excellent videos, but he just gets overwhelmed by Premiere. He doesn't want to deal with Premiere. Okay.
What does he use?
He uses, I think he's still on iMovie or something else. No, he's on something else. He's on Camtasia or something, I guess. I'm not sure. But he does a great job. His videos are amazing. If you haven't checked VGJ Felix out, check him out. I mean, I'll leave a card here, leave a link in the description. He's got some brilliant videos and he's an inspiration for me. Like, I've known him for years. But he just doesn't like Premiere, as in he opens it up and he feels it's just too complicated. And his videos, I mean, if you see it, you can just not tell that
out
he's
he
not
doesn't use
using Premiere or FCP or something like that. So you can still produce excellent videos without Premiere, and some people Premiere tends to be overwhelming to begin with. So start up with something like Movie Maker, where you get the basic idea of like, you know, patching videos together to create a final output. And then you can move on to Premiere or FCP or Camtasia or Vegas or Avid or whatever it is that floats your boat.
What do you do to remove background noise? And what audio gear do you use for such authentic sound?
It's a pain, it's a chore, it's it's the bane of being a tech YouTuber, right? I mean, everything but audio is easy, as in like video is relatively easy compared to audio. Audio sucks. Audio is like the hardest thing to do. So I currently use a Rode NTG3 for all these videos where you see us on cam, and a Zoom H6 for the videos that you don't see us on cam. Removing background noise, you can do it like 10%, but not more than that. If you have a consistent hum in the background like there is right now, which you're not going to hear because we can take that out. But if you have these intermittent noises like somebody outside yelling, which they do all the freaking time, as in people wait for me to turn the camera on and then they start coming outside. But then yeah, that's, or birds and stuff, that can be cancelled out. That's much more of a pain too.
Can be.
Theoretically yes, but realistically very difficult. You'd have to go through that waveform thingy and erase it manually, and that's very, very difficult to do. So the best thing to do would be, you know, pick up a Zoom H1 or a Blue Yeti or something and record in as silent an environment as possible, and then use Audition or Audacity to do basic noise cancellation. That's the best way to go about it.
Ash, you're suggesting OnePlus 5 in all videos. Why OnePlus 5? Why not Honor 8 Pro? Any reason?
I just did both, right? And I knew the questions already. Maybe I did both because of this question. Or did I? You let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But in all fairness, see, OnePlus 5, Honor 8 Pro, they're kind of on the same footing, but the OnePlus 5 does get better, more developer support. That's one thing the OnePlus 5 has for it. But the Honor 8 Pro has that better display. Okay, it's got the higher resolution display, better for VR, and the CPU itself is more powerful. Okay, but the GPU, of course, the OnePlus 5, you know, is better. But you know, though theoretically the CPU is more powerful, in real day-to-day usage, you're not going to notice a difference. The OnePlus 5 is a tad faster, but it doesn't really make a difference. So generally, I suggest both. I don't suggest just one. If I'm suggesting the OnePlus 5, it's more with regards to somebody says I want a G5 Plus, I want to upgrade, then I instantly go to OnePlus 5 because I believe they'd give more weightage to stock Android. So it's just stuff like that.
Being developer friendly.
Probably.
You're stuck with the EMUI if you're on the Honor 8 Pro.
But then again, these days I don't see a lot of people going the flashing route, right? I mean, our root videos and the Resurrection Remix videos, they did almost nothing. Whereas a couple of years back, people would have, I mean, those videos did really, really well.
Do you both watch Big Boss Tamil? If so, who's your favorite? Question to both of you.
Yeah, so this one I picked. This is like, I'm not getting you a gift for your birthday. This is like your birthday gift, right? So happy birthday. You're 22 now. I don't watch Big Boss. I don't have a TV connection at all. I know it's on Hotstar.
So you would actually watch it?
I said I know it's on Hotstar, but nah, I don't.
I mean, why do you get so annoyed at the TV show without even watching it?
I'm not annoyed at the TV show without watching it. I'm annoyed at the fact that you keep talking about it over and over again, and I don't understand what the hell you're talking about.
Okay.
That's what annoys me.
OVR. Hashtag OVR Army.
I don't know what he's talking about. Think about it, right? You're stuck in a car.
She's a fan favorite.
Think about this. You're stuck in a car with this guy going on and on about something you don't understand. Wouldn't that annoy you?
I mean, you can start watching it, right? Just to understand
where do I have the time to watch anything?
Okay.
I watch one episode of Nashville every day, and that's pretty much it.
Your opinion on Samsung's strategy of using Snapdragon in US but using exynos in India. Is it fair? How well exynos competes with Snapdragon?
It's extremely unfair. They're just cheating us.
You're not gonna find a lot of difference in day-to-day usage at least.
See, yeah, continue.
Yeah, that's how it's been for years, right? I mean, at least for the past 2 years.
No, the thing is, like, in the past there was a difference, okay? But right now, the Exynos is the more powerful chip.
Exactly.
So, if anything, we need to have a viewer from the US asking why is Samsung ripping us off by selling the Snapdragon variants here. Okay, because the Exynos is the better chip right now for the last 2 years. And of course, the 810, even Samsung wouldn't consider going the 810 route. So, they went all Exynos. But the 820 and the 835, the Exynos is kicking butt. So, there's nothing really. It has more to do with their supply chain and them producing as much inventory as possible. And I again read somewhere that the Qualcomm variants are more modem friendly for the United States. I'm not sure the legitimacy of it, but I remember reading that somewhere. So I don't know. Please check your facts before you take that with a pinch of salt. But that's that. I'm happy with the Exynos in India.
According to OnePlus co-manager...
in the past, the developer support might be a problem, but right now, you unlock the bootloader and you flash something, you lose Samsung Pay.
Yeah.
And that's not worth it. And even Netflix has issues, right?
I'm not sure.
I think Netflix has issues too. And
Samsung Pay is actually useful to a lot of us. So, according to OnePlus co-manager, Android O will be the final update for OnePlus 3 and 3T. What are your thoughts on that?
If I were a 3T user, I'd be bummed out. If I was a OnePlus 3 user, not so much.
Yeah, no, it's actually not bad, is it?
See, the 3T launched with Nougat.
Yeah, okay, so yeah,
it's got one and done. Then you could call it the Lenovo 3T. Okay, the Lenovo Plus 3T, the Moto Plus 3T. Okay, so but it's not. OnePlus 3 on the other hand launched with Marshmallow. They updated to Nougat and now to Android O, and then it's okay. 2 updates.
Yeah, 2 updates.
That's as good as what Samsung gives you.
Even Google gives you.
And that's almost.
Google themselves do the same thing.
Yeah, so that's as good as what you're going to get from a Android phone. But here's where OnePlus has an issue, right? From the brand's perspective, the OnePlus 3 and the 3T, they're not really developing different stuff for it. It's the same identical software on both. Now, if the 3T gets the second update, then the 3 needs to get a third update. Which means then the 3T users are going to want to have a third update. Yeah. So somewhere down the lane, they need to cut off, and they decide to do it with O, which as a user, I do not like. But I do understand why they're doing what they're doing.
They should have launched the 3T with Marshmallow and updated it the next day. What are your thoughts about the upcoming Note 8?
What are your thoughts about the upcoming Note 8?
I'm more of a waiting for iPhone guy.
Waiting for iPhone guy.
I know. Frankly, let's be frank here. Are you waiting for the Note 8 more than the iPhone 8?
Hell yes.
Hell yes. Okay.
Hell. H as in hotel, E as in echo, L as in Lima, yes. So I used to work in BPO, so I get that. Yes. Note 8, the S Pen. I have not used a phone with an S Pen in so long.
I'm like,
see, I'm getting the jitters because I haven't used a phone with an S Pen. I mean, though I don't use it all the year, I love the fact that it's around and I can go back to it. If I knew the Note 7 would explode, I wouldn't have sold my Note 5. And I couldn't even buy it back. Amartya bought it from me and then he lost it.
Lost it?
He lost it before he paid me the entire amount. So the balance amount he was paying me, he didn't even have a phone and he was paying me.
My Note 4 story is a much better one.
It's never better, dude. Okay, anyway, coming back. So yeah, Note 8, I'm really looking forward to it, and we didn't even address the question. What are your thoughts about it is the question.
Yeah.
Ritvik would be pissed if we just moved on to the next one. I'm sorry, Ritvik.
No, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just scrolling.
Why?
Throughout the episode, I'm just doing this all the time.
If you hate him scrolling, I mean, just leave a comment below. Okay, so anyway, Note 8, I really want to see if Samsung comes out with the second camera. Samsung should have done it with the S8, they didn't. But now dual camera seems to be all the rage, and I'm pretty sure Samsung is not going to still sit back and do a single camera phone. So a dual camera, maybe all those bokeh effects, because it's been excellent with the OnePlus 5.
Mi6, iPhone.
Yeah, the OnePlus 5 right now in Yelagri, we shot a lot of pictures and they turned out extremely good. So, so yeah, whatever. Okay, let me actually go into it. So it's my wife's birthday tomorrow, and I just got her a photo frame, and I actually printed out one of those pictures to put it in that photo frame, and I really like it. I liked it enough to do that. So again, I mean, the 4K effect, it did not look very artificial, to a bit, to an extent, because for someone like us who keeps looking at it and we are looking to find faults, we can probably find one, but
we use DSLRs all the time.
Exactly. To the untrained eye, it looks great. Yeah. So I just can't wait to see what Samsung does with the Note 8. That's one. Secondly, oh my god, the S Pen. I want the S Pen back.
Also, I want that same sensor on the S8 to be on the Note 8. Plus another camera.
Exactly. Yeah. Fair enough. And the S Pen, this time around, they're talking about something with regards to the S Pen. What is that? You can actually locate the S Pen if you lose it. Like a Find My Phone kind of thing for the S Pen. And given all the induction charging and something sticking in a small battery into the S Pen that charges every time you pop it back in, might actually work. So it's stuff like that. I really can't wait to see what Samsung's gonna do with it. So yeah, that's...
Does LG Q6 provide us a hint that bezel-less displays in budget phones are a possibility much earlier than we thought?
Yes. I mean, here's my question to you. Now just picture this for a minute. LG's mid-rangers, a Snapdragon 430, 4 series phones with like some sensor cuts and stuff, 15,000 bucks, meh. At that point, Xiaomi was selling Snapdragon 650 phones at 10,000. Now LG has a 18:9 at 15,000. Think what a brand like Xiaomi can do in the budget segment when they start putting out these phones. So I'm really high to see what brands do. But then again, the whole bezel-less thing is kind of a misnomer because it's not bezel-less, it's just 18:9. The bezels are the same. Of course, they've removed their...
Smaller bezels.
The side bezels are still big. Yeah. They've removed the bottom...
chin and the...
That's because no fingerprint sensor. Of course, LG has the fingerprint sensors to the back. Yeah. But they've toned down the chin and the top a little bit because they do get more space with the longer screen, and they've toned it down a little bit, and that is all it is. It is not bezel-less. It's still got bezels, but it's an 18:9 display, meaning the screen to body ratio is growing, and that is a very welcome move, and I really hope to see more brands come up with it.
Redmi Note 5 probably.
I thought it would. That was one of the rumors I heard, but turns out that doesn't seem likely. No. But Xiaomi might come with a Redmi X or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. Some phone with a weird aspect ratio. Yeah. So yeah.
I want the aspect ratio to come back to 16:9.
Why?
I don't know. It's
because everybody wants 18:9, so you need to.
No, who wants 18:9?
Everybody.
I mean, going with smaller chin and forehead, but still maintaining the 16:9 aspect ratio.
Okay. So
let's just say the S8 was a little wider than it is now.
Okay.
It would have a tad larger display.
That's the size of his hand. Anything he says, you're not supposed to take it. See, that's how big his hands are. Okay, you cannot. He wants phones wider. Seriously wider. I mean, the first thing, once I took the Q6, is like, I can grip this, nice. And I don't have really small hands either.
Moderately large.
Dude, you can't find footwear. They don't sell footwear your size in stores.
I know.
Alright, so you can't talk about having, that's not moderate size.
Click a selfie with this.
You can click a selfie. So that's the thing, right? So he would probably be happy with the phone that's this wide, okay, but not the majority of us. So 18:9, what it does is it gives you a lot of real estate, screen real estate, and for all those articles that we read and stuff, you get a lot more happening on the display. So you can keep scrolling, and all these, even when the keyboard is up, you still have a lot of display. So it's stuff like that I like about 18:9 aspect ratios. And yes, you got to deal with the black bars to the sides or like crop in a little bit when you watch videos. But that's a small price to pay in my honest opinion. Games do scale well. With the S8, I didn't really have issues with games. And of course, yeah, like with something like Plants vs. Zombies, it's still stuck to the small screen. But you get more dead pixels outside. I mean, by dead pixels, I don't mean dead pixels. It's like just the background. where nothing is happening. I get it. I get that it isn't exactly utilizing the entire display, but it's still fine for the most part. I'm happy with it. I feel 18:9 is going to help make these phones much narrower, because now the LG G6, Q6, if it had a regular 16:9 display, it would be a 5.2 inch probably. But everybody wants to claim 5.5 at least. That's how I'm saying, if you cut out the top and bottom
and then widen it, it would still be 5.5.
I don't want to widen it. I'm saying it wouldn't be as comfortable in hand. What I'm saying is a 5.5 inch 18:9 display, aspect ratio display, would be similar to a 5.1 or 5.2 in terms of width.
I actually compared it side by side with the Mi6. It's actually smaller than the Mi6.
Narrower, you mean?
Narrower and shorter.
Yeah, so that's where that's how it goes, right? So it's gonna make phones a lot more ergonomic, and anything that helps with ergonomics, he doesn't like it, because for him, he has already made up his mind when he buys a phone. He knows he doesn't care about updates. Do you know that? He doesn't care about updates at all, because updates matter to people like you and me, who are gonna wait, have the phone for a year or something, and then we're gonna be pissed that there are no updates. But for him, it's like the phone's gonna break. You're gonna what now?
No, nothing.
What did you say? What did you say? You went an entirely different direction.
I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna keep buying new phones.
No. He's just gonna break it. For him, it's not till the brand stops updating. It's till he drops it. So he's totally fine with it. It's like it's like that's how it is, and it's like we get born, we grow up, we grow old, we die. He buys a phone, he breaks it. Before the first update goes live. So he's totally fine with phones like that. But then again, for most of us, ergonomics is very important. And I really feel 18:9 aspect ratios are gonna help make phones more narrow, help us with single-handed usage. Yay. And that's it. That was way too long for a question. I apologize for those of you who got kind of bored with it. So those are all the questions that I picked for this week's episode of Ash Answers. So guys, this is the part where I want your feedback. So here's a little concept that I've been thinking about. So I'm thinking of doing a show, give it a 5-6 episode run at least, called 7 Questions. So this is going to be something we're going to be in the same setup, wherein every week, see, I could do the regular news roundup every week, right? But then everybody does it. We might do it in the future, but right now I don't feel that's going to be... that's not something I want to do. I want to try something different. So it's going to be me and Sundar are going to pick 7 questions each with regards to whatever happened all week. And I'm going to ask him a question. He's going to ask me a question. Yeah. We're just going to ask each other questions. And we'll see who gets more right, who knows more with regards to what's happening and stuff. And for the viewers, you get to know what's happened through the week. Yeah. So, is this an idea? It's just a rough idea. It's nowhere close to implementation, but is this an idea that you'd be interested in? Is this something you'd be interested in watching? You still get to know what happens, but it's not in the same scripted formula where we're just hey guys, this week in news, this is what happened, and Lenovo said they're gonna stop updating this phone. It just got one update. Or rather, in the case of the Fab 2 Pro, it didn't even get a single update, but people shelled out $500-600 for it, and we got your money. That's not the format I really want to go. So, is 7 questions something you're interested in seeing? Let me know in the comments below, and that's it. If you hated this video, what are they gonna do? If they like the video,
share, and subscribe.
Subscribe. If you've already subscribed, what should we ask them to do?
Hit that bell icon to get notified each time a video goes live on the channel.
Not do this. Hit that bell icon. Yay! And here's what you've been waiting for. Right from the start. This is the reason why most people tune in every week. Till next time, this here is Ash along with my co-host Sundar, and we are
leaving for the moment.
With a head shake.
You can't demand that all the time. You did it last week and the week before that also, I guess.
That's why Mr. Simijector is not back.
Okay. Seems fair enough. But I'm gonna just stay within my limits.
Okay.
That's a better idea, right?
Yeah, but we can still do the leaving for the moment. It's nice.
Leaving
for the moment. Have a nice day. Barry Allen. Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech along with my co-host Barry Allen, who's the fastest man alive.